the Bucks even the series last night at home, 109-103. The home team has now won every game of the series. So on Saturday, obviously, shifting back to Phoenix. Unsurprisingly, the Suns are now favored, minus 170 on the money line. Julian, does the home team continue to dominate the series?
I think they do. This is the shortest favorite that we've seen, the shortest number that we've seen in this series. And I think it's just a little bit of recency bias that the Bucks got these two games at home. We got a Scott Foster game in game 3. Suns got mopped in that one. Milwaukee was obviously going to get a home game, but Kenny and I were both on the Suns last night, and that was a game that they easily could have and probably should have won if Chris Paul doesn't give you absolutely nothing on the floor in that game. So, that came down to not a final possession, but the Giannis block. It came down to a possession with a minute left. And Phoenix was right in that game, despite getting out-rebounded on the offensive glass 17-5, despite losing the turnover battle 17-5. To be able to have those types of gaps on the road and, lead that game for 46, 47 minutes is pretty ridiculous. Chris Paul can't be any worse, and he will be a lot better at home. I'm confident in that. His MVP odds, which we'll talk about, took a massive hit with that dud. But yeah, I think the trend continues. I would have given the Bucks a better chance in this game had they lost game 4 at home. I think at 2-2, with the way that Chris Paul looked, this is a bounce back game for Phoenix, and we're getting a good short number on it.
Kenny, do you agree?
Yeah, I hate to agree with Julian, but I do think that the Phoenix Suns win this game. Yeah, and you hate to agree with me, so it's really bad when we agree with each other, right? It's 100. It's a minus 170 money line that I think is very bettable here. The Phoenix Suns are just simply the better team, and yeah, Chris Paul was so bad. We talked about on the show yesterday his points, rebounds, and assists. Is he going to go over 34.5? He took the under. He had 21. It was really bad. It was terrible. He turned the ball over so many times. And the turnovers were what led to Milwaukee running out and taking this game. Milwaukee has thrived all season long in transition, pushing the pace, off of steals, off of turnovers. So I do think that as long as Chris Paul just, snaps out of whatever curse or hex he's under, they should be fine. The Phoenix Suns played a very good game last night. Devin Booker was out of his mind. Cam Johnson gave this team incredible minutes. They still have Mikal Bridges on the bench if they want to use him. Jay Crowder as well. I was very impressed with Jay Crowder. He took a few charges. He got some steals. He definitely sold a few fouls. He just did what he was supposed to do. And I thought that it was a really complete game by the Phoenix Suns. And the most important thing was DeAndre Ayton played really good defense. Everyone wants to talk about that Giannis block. DeAndre Ayton had that block on Giannis where he punched the stanchion, and the FCC had to come in before he said something that would have gotten him fined and the NBA in trouble. And look, that was an incredible defensive play. This guy's been unbelievable on defense and both ends. I just think that Phoenix has too many bullets here, and they're going to end up winning this and taking control of the series once again, winning in 6. I just don't think the Bucks are a very good team. I think they kind of got fortunate.
Okay, well, the markets for Finals MVP have gotten pretty interesting. So Giannis is the favorite at plus 130, followed by Paul, Booker, and Middleton. Kenny, where's the value right now on betting Finals MVP? Is it Paul, since his odds took a hit after that hex of a game?
Yeah, it wouldn't sound like it, right? But I do think that the value is on the favorite here in Giannis Antetokounmpo. Look, plus 130 is not coincidental. Incidentally, it is also the odds on the Bucks to win the series are right around them. But I think that Giannis could actually win series MVP if the Bucks lose. He's been that good. You haven't really been able to point to one Phoenix Suns player that's really wowed you. Devin Booker, great game last night, but the Suns lost. 2 good games in this series. Chris Paul's been so bad. Giannis has been good every game. So I think that as long as he keeps being good, and there's no reason for you to believe that he wouldn't be, because he's playing the same team and he's, one of the best players in the world. I do think that he might win Finals MVP even if the Bucks lose. I just think that I know that, you are essentially betting on the Bucks to win the series if you're betting on Giannis, but I do think that because there's a significant chance that he wins as a losing player for the first time in 50 years or whatever, that you have an edge there. I think that you might be able to get better odds if you knew that potentially there was some precedent for the player on the losing team to win the Finals MVP. I do think that that's the value.
Yeah, I think it was Jerry West, the only person to ever win the award while being on the losing team. It's been a few years since then. Julian, what do you think?
Yeah, now Kenny and I can have a hard disagreement here. Not that, I mean, if you think the Bucks are going to win, go ahead and bet Giannis plus 130 if you want. Like, there's no way they win and he doesn't win. But the Bucks are plus 125 for the series. So do you want to do that to yourself with the 5 cents of juice just in case Middleton has some massive games? It's up to you. I would just take the Bucks, considering it's plus 125 to plus 130. But where I will give a hard disagree is that Giannis has 0% chance in winning the award if the Suns win the series. I will go full bankroll bet on the no. Giannis will not win the award if the Suns win the series. If LeBron didn't get it in 2015 against the Warriors, nobody is getting it in the modern era. That was a completely different time when Jerry West won it. We can throw that out the window. LeBron had one of the best series I've ever seen in that losing effort to the Warriors the first time those teams matched up. And I think he got Jeff Van Gundy's vote. He got a couple of votes, but like it's just not going to get there, especially with what Giannis is doing. Like it's not like, they had to give it to Andre Iguodala in that series because the Warriors were so well-rounded. Chris Paul had a good couple games in the Phoenix wins. He can still get there at plus 175. Devin Booker just had a massive game. He can have another 40-point game at home in a Game 5 win, and then he probably suddenly becomes the favorite. I've been on Chris Paul all along. I wrote him up in a Best Bets article at plus 1,200. I wrote him up again at plus 400. I said before the series, take him at plus 160. And I said that Devin Booker was not really in the running at plus 1,000 before the last game, and now his odds have been cut into a quarter pretty much at plus 260. So that's why I'm an idiot, I guess, but I'm positive that Giannis will not be winning it if the Suns win. Do what you want between Paul and Booker.
All right, well, some interesting series props are available now as well. So you can still bet on overall winner, the correct number of games in the series spread, more, lots more. Jules, any series props catch your eye right now ahead of Game 5?
Yeah, we don't like when a team has a bigger lead in the series, we have to kind of get cute and go like, oh, do I want to take Suns minus 1.5 games for plus 120 or whatever it was? Do I want to take a correct score? Do I want to take a double result? One of the interesting things, I think that, Kenny and I like the Suns in Game 5, but I think that we can, for the most part, agree whoever wins Game 5 is probably going to win this series. So if you don't just want to bet the series line, I think Suns minus 145 is fine. If you like the Bucks plus 125. But whoever wins Game 5 is going to win this series. So I think that rather than maybe like laying, the Suns are minus 180 right now on DK Sportsbook for Game 5. You can just look at maybe those double results and get Suns win Game 5, Suns win the series. That's even money. I guess it gets a little dicey if the Suns do drop Game 5 at home and go on to win the series in 7, but that feels like a strong play to me if you want to get involved in the props rather than just take the straight up series line, which is fair to do at this point in the series, given the price.
Kenny, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to give you 2. Right now, Suns and 6 is my best bet, plus 275. I just think that that's going to happen. They'll close it out in Milwaukee. They almost did win in Milwaukee last night, and I think that that's definitely coming. But if you want to kind of create a good money-making opportunity for yourself, why not take the under half a game on the number of road wins in the NBA Finals? It's plus 280. You bet plus 280 on the home team to win every time. The Phoenix Suns, we have a pretty strong read they're going to win tonight. And if you really do think that, the Milwaukee Bucks are just too unstoppable at home, then all of a sudden you set up a Game 7 where you can just bet the Bucks as underdogs and you have 2 bets at plus money. I think that that's kind of an interesting way to ride this out because I think the consensus pretty much is that, well, the Suns might win Game 5, but the Bucks, they've been really strong at home all postseason. They'll win Game 6. If you are of that thinking, if you do think that, then put your money where your mouth is. Take the plus 280 on, the home team to win every game. And then, like I said, you have an easy hedge opportunity in game 7 and you can lock in some profits. That is something that's catching my eye. But if I have to just predict this series, it's definitely for me, Suns in 6 plus 275.
All right, quick slate approved, 10 seconds or less. What are you locking in, Kenny?
Locking in Suns money line. I really do think that they're the better team. I'm willing to pay up for this price. I just think that we saw it last night. The defense has been so good all series long, all postseason long. The Bucks just are out of ideas on offense, and they came up with timely buckets. But Pat Connaughton, Chris Middleton, those guys, the shooting splits goes the other way on the road. They're not going to hit those big shots, and I don't think that the Bucks are going to be able to muster up 100 points, and they're going to lose this game.
Jules.
Kenny's a coward. I'll lay the points like a man. Give me the Suns -3.5.